one of the big problems that this book is really addressing is the default school culture that exists in classrooms around the country. So the default school culture is generally that teachers are working in isolation from each other, in an egg crate model of schools, that in general in schools, there is a culture of what our colleague Richard Elmer called a culture of nice, where we may be warm and collegial with each other, but we are not actually talking about instructional practice at a fine-grained level. And we're definitely not talking about areas where we might be confused about instruction, and we're not sharing feedback with each other. We're not talking about instruction at a fine-grained level. We're not valuing instructional expertise as part of the profession. Instead, the profession is really set up around a system of hierarchies based on years of experience or positional roles. And instructional rounds turns all of that on its head by centering the instructional core, the interaction of the teacher and the student in the presence of content, and saying our work, the work of educators, is exclusively to focus on what goes on in the instructional core. And that is what our practice is going to be, to learn to describe in a really fine-grained way what is going on in the instructional core. How is learning happening? Not how we talk about learning, often using jargony words, but really, what do we see in classrooms in the interaction of the teacher and the student in the presence of content? And what do we think students would know and be able to do as a result of that? And so we're really striving to shift the culture to one where we're really describing instruction closely, and we're naming where we may be stuck regarding student learning. And we're coming together collectively to try to understand how learning happens related to that stuck place, and then trying to get unstuck and figure out what is it that we could do collectively as the educators in the building to shift student learning so that we're no longer stuck there.